The hush of the evening air hung heavy, punctuated only by the distant murmur of a village preparing for sleep. But not this household. Here, a different kind of anticipation vibrated through the very stones. 10 young women, dressed in their finest, their faces aglow with excitement, huddled together. They were the bridesmaids, and tonight the bridegroom was expected. This wasn't just any night. It was the night the wedding procession would finally arrive, ushering in the celebration they'd all been waiting for. Each bridesmaid held a lamp, ready to light the path as they joined the procession to the groom's house, where the wedding feast would unfold. Their role was crucial: to be ready, lamps burning bright, to welcome the groom and escort the bride. They had prepared for this moment for days, their hearts fluttering with joy and unity. But as the hours stretched on, the initial buzz began to wane. The night deepened, stars sprinkled across the inky canvas above, and still there was no sign of the groom. A quiet weariness began to settle over the group. One by one, their eyelids grew heavy, their chatter subsided, and eventually, all 10 of them drifted off to sleep, their lamps placed carefully beside them. Some, however, had done more than just prepare their lamps for the immediate need. 5 of them, wise and thoughtful, had brought along extra flasks of oil, anticipating that the groom might be delayed. Their foresight, born of prudent consideration, set them apart in a way that, at that moment, seemed insignificant. The other 5, perhaps swept up in the immediate excitement, or simply less inclined to plan for contingencies, had brought only enough oil for their lamps as they were. They presumed the groom would arrive promptly, and their present supply would suffice. And so the night deepened further, the village slept, and the 10 bridesmaids slumbered, their dreams filled with the phantom strains of wedding music. Then, just as the night was at its darkest, a sudden cry pierced the quiet. "Behold, the bridegroom is coming! Come out to meet him!" A wave of urgent energy shot through the sleeping bridesmaids. Their eyes flew open, their hearts pounding. The groom! He was finally here! There was a flurry of movement, a rustle of garments as they scrambled to their feet. Each one reached for her lamp, hands trembling with a mixture of excitement and frantic haste. This was the moment they had prepared for. But as they hastened to trim their wicks and light their lamps, a chilling reality dawned on 5 of them. Their lamps, having burned for hours before they fell asleep, were sputtering, the flames flickering weakly, threatening to die out completely. Their oil was almost gone. Panic flared in their eyes. "Give us some of your oil," they pleaded with their companions, their voices tinged with desperation. "Our lamps are going out." The 5 wise bridesmaids looked at them, their faces etched with a difficult truth. "No," they replied gently yet firmly, "there may not be enough for both us and you. Go instead to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves." Their words, though seemingly harsh in the moment, were born of a stark reality. Spiritual preparation, like oil for a lamp, cannot be borrowed or transferred at the last minute. It is a personal reserve cultivated over time. With heavy hearts and a growing sense of dread, the 5 unprepared bridesmaids turned and hurried off into the darkness, hoping against hope to find a vendor open at such an hour to buy the oil they so desperately needed. Meanwhile, the 5 wise bridesmaids, their lamps now burning brightly, their faces illuminated by the steady flame, stepped out into the night. They joined the wedding procession, their lights adding to the festive glow, and entered the house with the groom, ready for the feast. The door, with a soft click that echoed with profound finality, closed behind them. It wasn't long before the 5 foolish bridesmaids returned, their faces streaked with desperation and disappointment. They had managed to buy oil, but at what cost? They rushed to the door, pounding on it, their voices hoarse with pleading. "Lord, Lord, open to us!" But from within, a voice replied, solemn and unyielding, "Truly, I say to you, I do not know you." The silence that followed was more chilling than any words. the door remained shut. They were outside, in the darkness, the sounds of the celebration now muffled, distant, and utterly unattainable. Their unpreparation, their lack of foresight had cost them everything. They had missed the call. They had missed the feast. So, what does this ancient tale, recounted by Jesus himself, tell us thousands of years later? It speaks to a profound truth about readiness, about being spiritually alert and prepared for God's call in our lives, for the return of Christ, or for any significant moment of divine appointment. The oil in our lamps isn't literal. It represents our spiritual readiness, our faith, our consistent prayer, our acts of love and service, our commitment to living according to God's word, our cultivated relationship with Him. It's the inner life, the quiet discipline that prepares us not just for the obvious, but for the unexpected, for the delayed, for the sudden call. The parable doesn't condemn the foolish bridesmaids for sleeping, for all 10 slept. It condemns them for their lack of foresight, for not having the extra oil. It's not about being perfect, but about being prepared. It's a gentle yet firm reminder that true readiness isn't a last-minute scramble, but a continuous state of vigilance and spiritual cultivation. We don't know the hour or the day or the precise way God's call might manifest in our lives, but we can, like the wise bridesmaids, ensure our lamps are always full, our spirits ready to shine. So, as we reflect on this story, let us consider, what does extra oil look like in our lives today? Is it consistent time in prayer, daily reflection, acts of kindness, or a deeper commitment to understanding God's Word? Let this story be a warm invitation to examine the reserves of our spiritual lives. Let's ensure our lamps are not just lit for today, but that we carry with us the extra oil, ready for whatever hour, whatever moment the call may come. Thank you for joining me in this reflection. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what extra oil means to you. Please feel free to share your insights in the comments below. And if this message resonated with you, consider subscribing for more stories and reflections. Until next time, may your lamps burn brightly.